training more? Then why do you still look the same? If more training equals faster progress, then why aren't those who train every day actually making progress? Do you know how many workouts per week are ideal for you? Or are you just guessing? What's the optimal weekly training frequency that ensures progress without compromising recovery? Do you really need to train 6 times per week, or are you just burning yourself out for nothing? Is 3 sessions per week enough, or will you miss out on real progress? Let's break this down, but first, what does progress even mean in training? Progress in training, it's all about adaptation. Your body adjusts the demands you place on it. If you consistently expose your muscles and nervous system to the right level of stimulus, your body becomes stronger, faster, and more resilient. There are 3 key pillars that determine your progress in training. To build muscle mass, hypertrophy, you need to create mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. And the number 1 factor in achieving this progressive overload, gradually increasing the challenge to force your muscles to adapt and grow. How can you apply progressive overload? Increase resistance. Add weight or progress to harder body weight variations. Increase reps. Perform more reps with the same load. Increase sets. Raise the total training volume for a muscle group. Increase intensity. Reduce rest time, slow down eccentric movements, or use explosive techniques. Increase range of motion. Extend the movement to create more muscle tension. Increase training frequency. Train a muscle group more often throughout the week. If you don't apply this consistently, your muscles will simply maintain their current capacity but won't grow. Your technique and coordination might improve, but your muscle development will plateau. But what if you knew exactly how to increase your workload without overtraining? This is where most people go wrong, and why they stay stuck for years. If you don't want to make the same mistake, pay attention, because this is where it really gets interesting. The solution: a well-structured system. The Final Form app is designed to solve this exact problem. No more guesswork about how to structure your workouts or when to increase the load. With premium access, you get structured training programs that ensure progressive overload at every stage, guaranteeing continuous improvement. Why does it work? Scientifically designed and tested on thousands of people to guide you through every stage of progress. Structured progression. You always know what your next step should be. Adaptive challenge levels to ensure your muscles always get the right stimulus. If you are serious about progress, download the Final Form app and take your training to the next level. Recovery. The key to muscle growth, not just rest. Recovery is one of the most crucial yet often overlooked factors in muscle growth. It's like the forgotten stepchild of training. Everyone focuses on workouts, but muscle growth doesn't happen during training. It happens after the workout, during the recovery phase. What happens during recovery? Muscle repair and growth. During training, your muscle fibers experience micro tears. The body repairs these during recovery, building them back thicker and stronger. Hormonal balance and growth factors. After a workout, testosterone, growth hormone, and IGF-1 levels spike, but their effects only work if recovery is sufficient. Nervous system recovery. Many people overlook the fact the intense training doesn't just fatigue the muscles, it shocks your nervous system too. Without proper rest, coordination, motivation, and mental drive suffer, directly impacting workout quality and increasing injury risk. How much recovery do you actually need? At least 48 hours of rest for each muscle group after intense training. At least 1 full rest day per week with no demanding physical activity. Sleep quality is key. Essential muscle building hormones are released during deep sleep, making proper rest a non-negotiable factor for progress. Recovery is critical, but it's only one part of the equation. What happens if you train too little? Or on the flip side, too much? Where is the tipping point where training builds you up rather than breaking you down? That's exactly what we're diving into next. 3. Balanced training, the key to progress and recovery. The effectiveness of your training comes down finding the right balance between intensity and workload. If the stimulus is too low, it won't reach the threshold needed for progress, which is the most common scenario. In this case, at best, you will be maintaining your current level, but real growth won't happen. Why? Because many people think they are training hard enough, but in reality, they aren't. And what does that require? Something most people aren't willing to do, pushing to muscle failure. If you don't know where your true limits are, you have nothing to measure against. This keeps you in a comfort zone where progress slows down and initial results begin to plateau due to a lack of challenge. On the other hand, pushing too hard can lead to overtraining, burnout, and injuries. If your muscles and nervous system don't have time to recover, they won't be able to process the extreme demands you're placing on them. But in my experience, very few people actually reach this point. More often than not, the real issue is the opposite, not training hard enough. That's exactly why most people struggle to make real, consistent progress. What is the optimal training frequency and how do I do it? The answer to this question will always be: it depends. There is no one-size-fits-all training frequency that works for everyone. The ideal number of workouts per week depends on several factors, but the two most important ones are your goals. Your goal dictates how often and how intensely you should train. Are you aiming to build muscle, burn fat, improve endurance, or simply stay fit? The amount and intensity of training you need are entirely depend on what you want to achieve. That's why setting clear goals is always the first step. Everything else comes after. Your training level. Beginners, 3 workouts per week. If you are just starting out, begin with 2 sessions per week, then progress to 3 full body workouts. This prevents overtraining, allows for proper recovery, and helps your muscles and nervous system adapt effectively. Intermediate level, 4-5 workouts per week. At this stage, you have a better understanding of your body and are ready for a more structured training plan. Training 4-5 times per week enables you to target muscle groups more specifically, ensuring steady progress without overloading your nervous system. Advanced and competitive athletes, 5-6 workouts per week. Experienced athletes, especially those transitioning from bodyweight training to competitive fitness, often train up to 6 times per week. At this stage, recovery is an essential strategy and every opportunity to maximize progress is utilized. Important. This is where the distinction between hobby training and elite level training becomes clear. The goals and required training volume for a recreational athlete are entirely different from those who are a high-performance competitor. The real question is, where do you fall on the spectrum? And are you training at the right frequency for your goals? Additional factors that influence training frequency. Age and recovery capacity. As we age, recovery slows down, meaning training programs need to be adjusted accordingly. Older athletes need to prioritize recovery and mobility, placing more emphasis on rest and training quality rather than just volume. Experience and self-awareness. An experienced athlete knows their body better, when to push harder and when to back off. Over time, experience and self-awareness help fine-tune a personalized training plan that balances intensity, volume, and recovery. Personal experience. What worked for me? Over the years, I have tested multiple training frequencies across different stages of my training. 7 sessions per week, younger years. Overload, lack of recovery, performance decline, and muscle loss. 5 sessions per week. Better, but still not sustainable long-term. 3 sessions per week. More sustainable, but not enough stimulus for continuous growth. The most optimal and sustainable progress I achieved was with 4 training sessions per week. This approach gave me the following benefits: sufficient stimulus for muscle growth and strength development, enough recovery time allowing me to give maximum effort in every workout, maintain daily activity by focusing on step count on rest days, avoiding overtraining, the ability to focus on weaker muscle groups and adjust based on what needed improvement. Final thoughts: the right approach to training. This channel exists to teach you how to think critically about training instead of following rigid, black and white approaches. Understanding connections, differences, and influencing factors is the key to long-term progress. If anyone tells you that there's only one way to train or eat, you will know after watching this video to walk away from that advice immediately. There is no universal perfect training frequency because everyone has unique genetics, recovery capacity, and lifestyle factors. Studies and recommendations can guide you, but the most important factors will always be self-awareness and personal experiences. My goal with this channel is to help you find a training method and lifestyle that is sustainable, enjoyable, and actually delivers results in the long run. Extreme approaches don't work. What does is a smart, well thought out, and personalized path to progress. If you feel like you are not making progress, adjust the frequency and intensity of your workouts. Experiment, listen to your body, and find a training schedule that is sustainable, enjoyable, and truly effective for you. How many times do you train per week? What works best for you? Drop a comment below. If you are unsure how to structure your workouts, the Final Form app gives you a well-designed, effective, and personalized system to follow. Try it out and experience what's like when every workout actually counts. Thanks for watching this video. If you are interested, check out the next one where I will share what I would do differently after 15 years of training. See you in the next video. And remember, training is just the first step. The real change is you.